Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Kerry Sullivan, and I want to tell you guys a story about Mr. Sylvester Stallone that I heard. It's a really cool story, and part of the reason I'm telling this is because I unrightly judged that guy. I thought he was just some kind of like macho man all into himself, but he's got a great story, and he's a pretty cool character, and I heard this from a seminar that Tony Robbins was giving. And so Sylvester Stallone had the opportunity to go. They both had the opportunity. I don't know who saw it as an opportunity or better, but to go out to dinner. And so they went out to dinner, and Tony Robbins is like, I've heard your story before, and it's pretty amazing. And I was wondering if you could just tell it to me because I want to know what's fact and fiction and kind of see what's going on that way. So Sylvester Stallone says, "All right, cool, yeah, I can do that." And so Sylvester Stallone, when he was born, his childbirth, for whatever reason, something wasn't really going right, and they had to pull him out by the head with some forceps, and that's why his head looks a little misfigured. A lot of people make fun of that, and he talks kind of funny, a little bit different than most people and everything, and so that's why he talks like that. And as when he was growing up, he decided he wanted to be an actor, and he wanted to tell stories. He wanted to tell stories of inspiration to really motivate people and inspire people, to be their best or whatever. And so, he moved to New York City, and in his early 20s, and he was married, and he would go to all these different casting agents, and he claims he got, rejected like over 1,000 times from different movies or whatever. And Tony Robbins is like, how is that even possible? Because you went to, there's not even thousands of casting agents or 1,000 casting agents in New York City. He goes, oh no, I go to the same ones over and over and over again, right? And they'd be like, get out of here. You can't, you're not tall enough. You look funny. You can't even speak right. Like, just get out of here, right? And so at the same time, his wife, who he was married to at that time, was just like going crazy on him because they didn't have any money. They're really struggling financially and really trying. They just weren't making ends meet at all. But he didn't get a job because he decided that if he got a job, then he would get comfortable and he wouldn't keep hustling the way he was and trying to find ways to get a break and get some kind of acting job. And so what he then did was he went to this one casting director and he's like, I'm not leaving here until I get this job, right? And the casting director's like, he's like, get out of here. He's like, you're not getting it. And so he slept the night outside the front of the guy's casting agency. And the next guy comes in, he's like, all right, this is your job. He's like, I'm giving you this. Just freaking go take it and be done with it. And it was like, he was some extra or something like that in the background of some movie. And he got like a few jobs like that. And it just wasn't cutting it. And at this time, he was really, 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 really struggling financially. And so what he had to do is, his girlfriend was going crazy on him, being like, you're a bum and all this stuff. Or not his girlfriend, it was actually his wife. And he was a bum. So he had his dog. And his dog was his best friend. So he's just like, I need money. He goes, I just need $50. That's all I need. I need $50. So, and he needed it bad. And so he went to this liquor store and he sat outside the liquor store and he talked with people going in and out and he tried to sell his dog. And eventually some guy came by and bought his dog ended up being $25, right? And at that point, Sylvester Stallone said that was like the worst moment of his life. He's like, that dog was my best friend. He goes, I walked away and I started crying. And that weekend, he was watching a fight. And it was with Muhammad Ali. And I can't remember who he said Muhammad Ali was fighting, but it was some white guy. And Muhammad Ali was just destroying this guy, destroying him. But he had, he's all cut up and bloody everywhere. But the guy just kept coming at him, just kept coming at Muhammad Ali. He wouldn't back down or anything like that, and he just took a beating. And so Sylvester Stallone saw this. He's like, He's like, I got an idea. I got an idea. He goes, I'm going to write a movie. He goes, this is perfect. I'm going to write a movie. So he then went and sat down, and for 20 hours straight, he just wrote. 20 hours straight, he just wrote. And in 20 hours, he wrote the screenplay or the script to Rocky. So he's like, this is it. This is it. This is going to make it, right? So then he starts bringing this script to all the people you take it to. I don't know, you bring it to agencies or whatever. He starts bringing the script to all these different people to watch, and they're all telling him, they're like, this is stupid, this is predictable, this is like the dumbest movie ever. They're like, there's no way. And it was like person after person after person after person. It was a lot of rejection. I can't remember the number, but it was a ton. And then he brought it to these people, this one group of people, these two guys, and they're like, we love this. This is great. We want to buy it from you, and we'll buy it from you for $150,000, and the script and everything. And so he's like, Sylvester Stallone's like, all right, great, but there's one condition. And they go, okay, so what's the condition? And you go, I gotta play the main character. I gotta be Rocky. Rocky's me. And they're like, absolutely not. They're like, you don't look anything alike. They're like, no, you're too short. You can't speak. Your face looks wonky or whatever. Like, no. And so he's just like, all right, no deal. So they then come back to him. They're like, okay, we'll give you $250,000 for this. He goes, okay, great. Can I? And he goes, I'll play Rocky. And they're like, nope. So he's like, all right, no deal. They come back to him for $350,000, and they're like, all right, we'll buy it from you for $350,000. He's like, nope. And he's like, can I be in it? They're like, nope. And he's like, all right, no deal. Not happening, right? So he walks away from $350,000. So these guys wanted it bad, though. So then they come back to him and they go, okay, we'll buy the script off you for $35,000, okay? And you can be in the movie, but we're not taking any risks on you. And so if it goes down, you're going down with us. So we're only paying you $35,000 for this, because that includes acting, everything. You can be the actor, buy the script off you, all that. He's like, okay, you got a deal. So he takes the $35,000 then, and the next day he goes out and goes to the liquor store where he sold his dog. Right, he went to the liquor store where he sold his dog, and he waited all day. All right, and it wasn't. I think it was a few days. It wasn't just one day, but he waited a long time, and eventually he saw the guy that bought the dog from him. He's like, "Look, hey." He's like, "You and I gonna make a deal. I'll pay you $500 for the dog." The guy's is like, "Are you He's like, "Are you crazy? No way. Best dog ever. I will not give you the money back for this dog." And he's just like. He's like, you can't buy the dog off me, flat out. He's like, okay, I'll give you $1,000. He's like, nope, it's not for sale. He goes, $5,000. He's like, no, and he's like, you can't pay me anything for this dog. Eventually, he buys the dog back for $15,000, and on top of that, the guy who bought the dog off him had to have a role in the movie, and both that guy and the dog both starred in this movie that he wrote, known as Rocky. And I thought that was just an awesome story about a guy that just had a dream. He stuck to his convictions no matter what. And it also taught me a little bit of a lesson. It's probably not the first time I learned this one, but it's always a good one to remember. Don't judge a book by its cover with Rocky. Like I said, I just thought he was some kind of macho man, meathead type guy. But that in itself should be a movie, in my opinion. So, Mr. Sylvester Stallone, if you ever run into this video, it's probably a long shot, but rock on, man. That's awesome. And maybe someday you and I can have lunch together. He's not ever going to see this. But anyway, so that's it. So if you like this, feel free to share it. And that's all good. It's all good. And that's it. Peace and love, guys. Bye-bye.